Harassment is bad. Don't do it. Hey guys, Kinnaid here. Back by my own demand.
God help us all.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Jontron. So, who do we have today?
Imagine being raised in the United States your entire life. You don't know any other country. You have vague childhood memories of somewhere else, but everything you know is in the US. You went to school here, you grew up here, you made friends here, your family is here, you have a home here. Then one day you find out that the United States government could deport you at any moment.
Oh hey, it really is Riley this time. Looks like Riley wants to talk about DACA.
Many dreamers have been here for so long that they've had children. Living in the US would not only uproot their lives, but their children's as well. Can you even imagine that? Dreamers are trapped here in an impossible situation, and they're just trying to do the best they can. The undocumented immigrants who were brought here as children have no opportunity to become citizens.
What? What the fuck?
Thanks, Jontron. It's common knowledge that anyone who is married to a US citizen can get a permanent resident card, more commonly referred to as a green card, as they are now considered immediate family to a U.S. citizen. Currently, there is no limit on the number of immediate family green cards allowed per year. Furthermore, every child born in the U.S. is automatically a U.S. citizen, which entitles the parents of the child to a visa until the child is 21. Once the child turns 21, the parents of that child get upgraded to a green card. The fact that you brought up children and spouses of dreamers without mentioning this means you are either intentionally misleading your audience or didn't do your research and are just baking out your ass. Now that you brought it up, the fact is the only dreamers who will be affected by it are the ones who did not marry a U.S. citizen and did not have a child born within the United States.
The undocumented immigrants who were brought here as children have no opportunity to become citizens. There is no possible path to citizenship for them. Our immigration system is broken, and it leaves these people in constant fear of deportation. People who have lived here for 10, 20, 30 years have no path to getting legal status or citizenship. That's unbelievable.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Actually, there are several options for them to become legal immigrants and eventually citizens. You can apply for a work visa or green card if your career is in demand. You also have the option of applying for a green card even as an unskilled laborer or in a career field that is not in demand. After having a green card for 5 years, you are eligible to apply for citizenship. That number is reduced to 3 years if you are married to a U.S. citizen. The path is open for those who are willing to take it. It's unbelievable because it is not true. Yes, immigration is broken and needs a complete reform, but that doesn't mean the door is closed.
But even though the people who were brought here as kids cannot become citizens, they can get a work permit through an immigration policy that went into effect in 2012. It's called DACA, and it stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. There's some very specific criteria for people to qualify for DACA. Basically, the requirements are that you were under 31 years old as of June 15th, 2012, you arrived in the United States before your 16th birthday, you've lived here continuously since then, you graduated high school, and you have no criminal record.
Whoa, wait a second. Back that up. What are those requirements again?
Basically, the requirements are that you were under 31 years old as of June 15th, 2012, you arrived in the United States before your 16th birthday, you've lived here continuously since then, you graduated high school, and you have no criminal record.
One more time.
And you have no criminal record.
Wait!
Was ist das? You must not have been convicted of a felony, major misdemeanor, 3 or more other misdemeanors, and must not pose a threat to national security or public safety. So you can have a criminal record. And how deep are the background checks? Because records as a minor are sealed. Also, it is well known that sanctuary cities release illegal immigrants without charge in many cases. I think we can all agree that the vast majority of the people in this country do not pose a serious risk to national security or public safety. However, the issue that I have a problem with is how the Dreamers are being portrayed as innocent little angels that can and never have done no wrong. I find it very hard to believe that they all are.
If you're approved for a DACA work permit, that doesn't mean you are a legal resident or on a path to citizenship. It just means you won't be deported. You'll also get a social security number so that you can apply for jobs, go to school, and get a driver's license. You'll pay taxes, like for social security, but receive none of the benefits. And you will not be eligible for government financial aid to go to college.
Just because the program itself isn't a path to citizenship doesn't mean you can't start the path to citizenship. Not everyone gets aid from the government for going to school. Most people pay for college with scholarships, student loans, and/or working their ass off. DACA recipients are not forbidden from getting student loans or scholarships. While some scholarships are available to everyone, some scholarships are actually only available to minorities, refugees, and immigrants.
Currently, about 800,000 people in the US have DACA permits. However, that DACA program is now ending. On Tuesday, Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced that the program is no longer accepting new applications, and it will be completely killed off by March 5th, 2018.
Actually, it's not a complete shut-off in 6 months. It is being phased out over the next 2 years. Jeff Sessions even says that it'll be a wind-down, as seen here.
The Department of Justice has advised the President and the Department of Homeland Security that the Department of Homeland Security should begin an orderly, lawful wind-down, including the cancellation of the memo that authorized this program.
And confirmed in another press conference later that day, as seen here.
This morning, faced with the very real possibility of a potential immediate shutdown of the entire DACA program by a federal court, President Trump took the responsible and constitutional step of announcing that the administration will be phasing out the program over the next 2 years. Today's September 5th deadline was set by the plaintiffs presenting the administration with 2 and only 2 real options to choose from: the likely sudden cancellation of the program by a judge, or an orderly wind-down that preserves the rule of law and returns the question to the legislative branch where it belongs. The president chose the latter of the 2 options.
They are phasing out the program instead of letting it be canceled outright. They are doing this specifically to let Congress make the final decision on the program, as should have been the case when Obama was in office. In fact, there was a bill presented to Congress to allow these very same things to these very same people. Congress refused to pass the bill, and so Obama went behind their backs and made a legislative law, not only without the backing of the legislative branch, but in clear violation of their wishes. What Obama did was unconstitutional and illegal. That is why it is being rescinded.
The 6-month delay is intended to give Congress time to come up with a legislative solution for all the DACA recipients. Their argument is that Obama's DACA program is somehow unconstitutional because he went around Congress for it. They talked a lot about how immigration laws protect our country and all of that, failing to recognize that DACA recipients cannot have a criminal record.
Wait!
You must not have been convicted of a felony, major misdemeanor, 3 or more other misdemeanors, and must not pose a threat to national security or public safety. So you can have a criminal record.
They talked a lot about how immigration laws protect our country and all of that, failing to recognize that DACA recipients cannot have a criminal record as a part of their requirements for the permit. Ending DACA does not make us safer, and the constitutional argument is simply an excuse to end a program that is successful and helping people, simply because it was enacted by Obama and allows Trump to say he acted on his promise for immigration reform. His fan base will love it because they love it anytime Trump does anything to harm undocumented immigrants. But while all undocumented immigrants deserve our love and respect and support, DACA recipients are like the most ideal members of society.
All illegal immigrants deserve our love and support? Just how deluded are you? You seem to have this idea that anyone who comes to this country is a saint, and that's just not true. Some of them are hardworking people, while others just try to manipulate the system. The vast majority of illegal immigrants in this country do not pay taxes because they are paid under the table. There are ways of entering the country legally, yet they forgo those processes to enter illegally. Your Saint Obama broke the law to let them stay. DACA is unconstitutional until it is passed by Congress. If it is passed by Congress. The reason Democrats are against a secure border and against requiring ID at the voter booth is not because it is racist. It's because those illegal immigrants vote for Democrats the majority of the time because Democrats give them whatever they want. Meanwhile, law-abiding people are waiting their turn. Just by being here, illegal immigrants are breaking the law.
And that 6-month time frame for Congress to pass some kind of legislation, does anyone think they'll actually do it? They're notorious for not being able to pass anything.
6 months does seem like a short time frame. However, you have to keep in mind that this bill was already declined by Congress under Obama, and they could have put it forward at any time since then. In other words, they have had the last 5 years to make up their mind on this, not just the next 6 months. If they didn't want it back then, I'm pretty sure they won't want it now. I'm not saying this is a good or a bad thing. I'm saying that there is a process for making laws in this country, and Obama bypassed it illegally to push his own objective. If the program is so good for this nation, then convince the people who were democratically elected to make the laws of the country that it needs to stay. Any one of the DACA recipients can go to their employer and ask to be sponsored for legal immigration. If they are good workers and good people, then their employers or supervisors will have no problem sponsoring their legal immigration. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, and feel free to speak your mind in the comments section below.